Anyway, let's go to another issue. We're talking about, what are we talking about? The Redskins once again on first contention, but not specifically with the name. Now we're going to the player. RG3 was picked as the number 2 pick a couple years ago, won Rookie of the Year, and was highly touted as the savior for the franchise. When I was out in D.C., everybody talked about RG3. They called him Black Jesus. They called him Moses. They called him, the savior of the franchise that will probably bring them back to prominency. But as of late, he hasn't been that same dynamic player. Granted, it could be because of injuries, but at the same time, in the pocket, he doesn't look like a very accurate quarterback. And if you look at what just happened this week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming off a bye week, oh my gosh. RG3 was terrible that game, and he went in the press conference and basically did not take the blame for himself, but basically put it out against everybody and say, every last one of us has a responsibility. It takes all 11 men to win the game. Who's to say the defense didn't mess up, the offense didn't mess up, basically trying to put it off on everybody else. And Coach Jay Gruden was not having it. If you didn't see this clip, take a look right now.
Well, first of all, Robert needs to understand he needs to worry about himself, number one, and not everybody else. It's his job to worry about his position, his footwork, his fundamentals, his reads, his progressions, his job at the quarterback position. It's my job to worry about everybody else. You take everybody else out of the picture. Robert had some fundamental flaws. He did. His footwork was below average. He took 3-step drops when he should have taken 5. He took a 1-step drop when he should have taken 3 on a couple occasions, and that can't happen. He stepped up when he didn't have to step up and stepped into pressure. He read the wrong side of the field a couple times. So from his basic performance, just critiquing Robert, it was not even close to being good enough to what we expect from that quarterback position.
Jay Gruden went in. Basically, as a coach, for you to kind of come out and say that about your star player, your franchise guy, obviously he's a little frustrated because they just lost to a 1-8 team off a bye week in a division where it's still up in the air. You got the NFC East. You never know who's going to win that division, to tell the truth. But he's in his first year with the Redskins. He's trying to get things under wrap. His quarterback play has not been consistent all year. And then you get RG3, supposed to be the guy who's supposed to take this team to the next level, and he's not performing well, yet he doesn't own up to his mistakes. So Jay Gruden is going to quickly put the blame on him and kind of talk about his inaccuracies, talk about him as a quarterback, talk about him as a leader, and obviously something is going wrong in that locker room. The players, they having some side talk about RG3, about what he's doing, as far as a leader. Something doesn't seem right. Coach Jay Gruden is even going at him now. So I don't know, man. RG3's future as a Redskin is pretty much up in the air right now. When you saw him his rookie year, you'd have thought this guy is going to be something special. But obviously you always looked at it like Michael Vick. He could be out there for 16 games or he could be out there for only 8. Who knows? He could be that injury-prone guy if he doesn't learn how to slide. And now that he's come back from the ACL injury, he's kind of looked different. He doesn't have that same dynamic approach that he used to have coming into the game, going around, running, throwing, making plays. Now he just looks a little timid. Back there in the pocket, granted, the offensive line is not the best. He doesn't get that much time to throw the ball. He doesn't get that much time to go over his reads. Basically, he's looking like a bat out of hell running around out there. And it just makes the franchise look horrible as far as the future of what's going on. Kirk Cousins didn't do any much better because if you look at the offensive line, things have been crazy as well with that. But as far as the Redskins, man, it's just been very much a lot of turmoil going on this year. Jay Gruden has a challenge ahead of him, especially because of what's going on in the locker room. It doesn't seem like the guys are buying into whatever he's preaching. They're not buying into RG3 as well. So, man, it's going to be a long, long year and a long offseason for the Redskins. Well, that's all I got to say for today for that. Let's kick it back over to you guys, and I'll see you soon.